we need to use what is called an absolute reference. So let's try to do this absolute reference now. Just follow me. So I'm going to delete this. How we delete it is I click on this cell and hit DEL, which is on your keyboard. So it deletes it. I want to make sure that this particular cell value is static, stagnant, is the same whenever I do an operation on it. So what do? I click on this formula that I did first, where I am copying from. Okay. And then I go to the reference of the cell which is here, which is the $5, which I want it to be static. The other ones I want to move. I want to copy and paste to the next one, to the next one, and next one, and next one. But this one I want it to be static. So what I would like to do is to click on F13, which is this particular cell. And then I'm going to, before the F, I put a $sign. And before the 13, I'm going to put a $sign. So this cell reference is going to change to $F, sorry. $F, $13 from F13. Okay. So once I do that, I hit enter. And now I get $5, but then I have $F, $13 now. Now I can Control C and then click here, Control V, I get $10. If I click here, I get $15. There is another way to do that as well. Whenever you want to do something and you see this line and you want to get this line off because it is still in the copying mode, that's what it says. You just hit escape from your keyboard. So now what you can do is click on this F, go to the bottom right hand corner. When you see this, the cursor changes from this plus sign to this plus sign. Okay, and it goes back to the sign. So right at that point, you hold the mouse, left mouse, and drag the mouse. That is one way of doing it. The other way, of course, is you do Control C. You do Control C, and then click on E16. Hold the Shift button on your keyboard and move the arrow button down. Basically, you're highlighting the cells that you are interested in changing. Okay? Then you do Control V, then it is going to do that. So this is an absolute reference. I'll be talking about mixed reference later on when we do in other modules. Okay, so in this module we understood now what is a basic reference and what is an absolute reference. And these are some of the fundamental things in Excel. So let's go back here. So home is where you can find many of these things. You can insert cells, you can insert a row, you can delete a cell, you can delete a row, you can format cells, and here you can do various type of styles. We'll come back to this conditional formatting and all later on. And these are some general formatting for numbers and things like that. I mean, you remember I said data type? Let's see what are the data types. If you click on this here, this small button here, it shows you all the data types. Data type can be a number, a currency, an accounting number, a date, a time, percentage, fraction, scientific, text. And then there are some special and custom ones that you can create also. If we click on insert, Insert, you can do various things. You can do what are called pivot tables. We'll do that later. You can insert various charts. And you can insert various symbols and various types of text and so on and so forth. When you go to draw, which you may not have unless you have a tablet where you can scribe on like I do. Page layout, you can do various things like when you're printing, how do you want it to be, how do you want the page to be set up? In formulas, you can do various things like name manager is one that we'll be looking at later on, which is important. You also have what are called functions. We'll be doing that later. You can do some auditing, trace precedence and trace dependence also on these formulas. In data, you have various options for data. One of the things that we will be doing is there is something called outline, and you click on that, you will see subtotal, group, and ungroup. We'll be using that. Sometimes this outline may not be there depending on the version that you have, on Excel version you have. So you might have subtotal here, right here. We have some advanced analysis tools, which we will do later. But for the time being, make sure that you have all these things and make sure that you have subtotal. And if you do not have subtotal, you can click on help. And then you can click on help, and that gives you something here. You can ask for subtotal button. And it'll show you what subtotal buttons where and all that stuff here. You can use this. You can simply remove this by clicking on this X. Review and view are two different things that you can use, but in view you can zoom it to your zoom. I've set it to 120. You can set it to 100%, whatever you want. Okay, so these are the basic fundamental features of Excel.